life that is absolutely in you. And today I have been asked, well, I've been asked a few times, but today I just finally sat down and said I'm going to do it. I've been asked to do another video on life skills. Apparently a lot of you YouTube subscribers enjoy the life skills that I put out on YouTube. And today I'm going to give you 5 life skills for surviving narcissistic abuse. Now, the first life skill that I'd like to talk about is what I call hold on to yourself. Hold on to your right, to your perception of others, and not allowing other people to give you the impression that you don't have a right to your own perception of them. So for instance, you're dealing with someone who is drunk, and you say to them, I don't like when you're drunk. And they say, I'm not drunk, you're crazy. Or you say to someone, I don't like when you minimize what I have to say. And they say, I don't minimize you, you minimize me. Or they say, you say to them, I don't like when you flirt with my friends. And they say, I don't flirt with your friends were flirting with me. So in each situation, what's happening is the person that you're dealing with is totally annihilating your perception of them. And when you're codependent and or you have been abused through brainwashing and the abuse of language by manipulative others and egotistical narcissistic others, it's very easy to let go of your perception or your reality of them. So when you're dealing with people in the future, I want you to pay attention to your perception of a situation and then hold on to it. And when you're dealing with someone who you think might be narcissistic or might be manipulating you, see if in their language they consistently try to get you to change your perception or to annihilate your perception of them. So see if you can hold on to your right to your perception of someone else in your experience. The second life skill that I'd like to share with you is this idea of, I'm all about self-awareness, right? And Einstein says you can't solve a problem with the same level of intelligence that created the problem. So if we're like newborns, or we're 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and at that point in time, you know, a wound was created in us that went unhealed, meaning we suffered an attachment trauma and that was never fixed, then only a higher awareness of that wound is going to be able to help us shift out of the subconscious mind. So I want you to confront the idea or expand your awareness about the possibility that you might fear not being liked. So now, it sounds so silly, right, when I say it, but it's a linchpin, dear one. When you have an undercurrent running, when you have a faulty belief running, I need people to like me, people have to like me, your subconscious mind is listening to that data all day long. So when it comes to confronting someone and risking them not liking you, you might not be able to enforce a boundary because of the conflict or the cognitive dissonance between the subconscious and the conscious mind. So a house divided cannot stand alone. That means your brain has got to be one unit, subconscious mind and conscious mind. So confront any fear that you have about being not liked, and know that the fear of not being liked will prevent you from being able to enforce a boundary with someone who is not very likable. The third life skill I'd like to leave you with is accepting that other people may have faulty perceptions of you. So that means that you need to actually think about the idea that you may unconsciously think that you have to control other people's perception of you. So it's sort of like being afraid to be unliked, but it goes a little bit deeper. We oftentimes are unaware at how often we try to manipulate how other people see us. So if I'm in an argument with someone and that person says, you know, I think you're lying to me, or, you know, you're overly sensitive, or you make a big deal out of nothing, or you live in the past. These are all their false perception of me, right? So a life skill for someone who suffered from years and years of abuse is learning to just accept that other people, certain people especially, are going to have a faulty perception of you, and that's okay. It is not your job to run around the world and knock on everyone's door and say, that's really not who I am. That's really, no. Allow that other people to have a faulty perception of you, and don't get caught up trying to control something that you can't control, because that's maddening. The fourth life skill that I would like to suggest that you guys start incorporating into your daily life and adding to your tool belt when dealing with narcissistic people is begin identifying other people's use of language against you. So one of the things that I did when I was breaking these patterns and dealing with my narcissistic ex-husband and even family members is I stopped reacting to the words that came out of their mouth, and instead I imagined that I was in a war, and because that's what it felt like. And I was looking at the people in my life, and I was imagining that the weapons were emotions, or the weapons were language. And so when my ex-husband would say something like, "Oh, even your own family can't stand you," I looked at him, I was like, okay, what was that? What's that weapon? Oh, that's an Uzi, because that, he's trying to make me worry about the idea that everyone's against me, or he just used an Uzi, and he's trying to make me afraid. He's trying to shame. Actually, what it was shame. He's using an Uzi to induce shame. I should be ashamed that my parents have said things like this, or whatever. I should be ashamed. So, or he would say, look what you're doing to the kids, Lisa. You're going to therapy, you're reading all these self-help books, look at journaling all the time. What's happening to you? You're so selfish. You're so selfish. Look at you. We're going to end up getting a divorce. It's going to be because of you and all these self-help books. This is what he would say to me. Look at your mother. She's reading a book. Look at your mother. She's going to the gym. I mean, I dealt with this lunacy. But when I started to be objective and detached, which is another key, but I didn't leave it. I didn't add it to this video, so hang on there, dear ones. But what I did was I began to realize that he was trying to make me, again, feel guilty about reading books, because that meant that I was growing, and that threatened him. Feel guilty or tie into this idea that my desire for learning and journaling and developing in terms of self-help and learning about myself was threatening him because he was losing control over me. But my personal growth is something that I should feel guilty about. So that was a weapon. So that might be like a samurai sword. So see if you can begin detaching from the words, because that'll help you not feel so reactive to them and stuck in the childhood program and recreating these old dynamics, because now you're detaching and you're looking to identify the weapon of choice. So try to figure out if the people you deal with use Uzis or samurai swords, I mean metaphorically. Figure it out. What are they trying to do? Make you feel guilty? Make you feel ashamed? Incite fear in you? Make you confused? Lots of times passive-aggressive people and narcissistic people, they just talk at you until you cry, "Uncle!" So are they trying to frustrate you? What does that weapon look like to you? Is it a chainsaw? You know what I mean? So this will help your brain organize the way people speak to you, rather than have you automatically get triggered by the way people speak to you. So it gives you a little bit of space, and it helps you to more consciously understand what's happening in the moment, and it keeps you out of the reactive mode. The fifth life skill that I would like to share with you has to do with patterns. See if you can identify patterns. The brain likes patterns. The world is all about patterns and vibrations. Your chromosomes are patterns of chromosomes, patterns of codes. The universe is a bunch of codes, a bunch of patterns. Music is a bunch of patterns. Vibrational frequencies come down to patterns. So we are essentially ethereal beings. We're vibrational beings at our core. And so we too exist in a pattern-like world, vibratory world, although our physical eyes prevent us from being able to stay highly conscious of that until you reach a certain level of enlightenment, in my opinion. You get to a certain level of enlightenment and you see patterns everywhere. You just can't help it. It's like you can see into things, and it's just amazing. But see if you can see patterns. So go back to your childhood and see if your adult relationships mirror any of your childhood relationships. See if the friends that you had at 6 or 7 mirror any of the friendships that you have as an adult. See if the way you felt when you were 10 or 12 mirrors the way you feel at 22 or 42 or 62 or 82. See the patterns, and see if your partners, the people that you've experienced in your life, that you've drawn into your life, see if there's a pattern in those people. At the end of the day, what you'll discover is you are the common denominator, which means that there is a dysfunctional pattern or vibrational frequency active in you that needs to be dissolved. And the good news is that you can. Once you become aware of it, you can change it, dear ones. But below the veil of consciousness, as I like to say, we are vibrational beings with a level of consciousness that is, unfortunately, in most cases, we're asleep until obviously we wake up. But until we wake up, we are essentially in the subconscious mind, which is the basement, and where all our patterns are stored. And we are unaware that we're unaware, recreating our old stuff. And it's not our fault. It's not our fault. The good news is that we are consciously evolving human beings with a prefrontal lobe, and we have the ability to be objective about what's in the subconscious mind. And once you gain some clarity about what's happening in the subconscious mind, and you learn how to heal it, and of course you learn some life skills, and you navigate your life, you essentially begin to be able to dismantle the ideas, beliefs, the core beliefs, and the subconscious programming of the childhood programming that has been keeping you stuck and attracting unhealthy people unnecessarily. You don't have to live like this anymore, dear ones. You are enough. I hope these life skills have helped you. I hope that they resonate with you, and please feel free to leave your comments below. Please subscribe. Also be on the lookout for my upcoming webinars all about my 12-week breakthrough coaching program, which relaunches June 1st. And for those of you who have taken my program who want to take part in my Law of Attraction Masters class, that should be out shortly as well. And I'll keep you posted on this channel as well as my Facebook pages on Instagram and Twitter. Namaste, everybody. I bow to the love and the light that is absolutely in you.